Hey everyone, I'm John Lynn, the founder and chief editor at Healthcare IT Today. We're excited to bring another in our series of interviews with top leaders in health IT. And our guest today is Dr. Justin Collier. He's Healthcare CTO of North America at Lenovo. And LaDonna Worrell, she's Senior Director, IT Operations at Duke Health. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having us. And I would say this is the real guest.
Well, thank you so much for having us. Glad to be here.
Well, we love both of your expertise, and it's great to have you. I know it's a busy CES conference here, lots going on, so I appreciate you taking time to talk with us. But for those that don't know you, LaDonna, how about you start? Tell us about yourself and Duke Health.
Sure. I've been at Duke 28 years, currently run IT operations, which includes day-to-day, but also strategic with growth and innovation. That's really going really well at Duke, and that's the other part of my job.
Yeah, I love that. I think Duke Health is well known for your innovation, so it's great to have you here. Justin, tell us about yourself and Lenovo.
Sure. So I'm a physician by original training. Clinical informatics has been the specialty I've practiced for most of my career, and I've been in technology for about 20 years now. It's crazy.
Time flies.
I have the great role of being able to support all of our healthcare teams across North America as we serve our customers, who we really view more as partners. We try to approach it in that way to deliver not just business that is for business sake, but business that makes an impact for clinicians and patients, leveraging technology to the best of its ability to make life better.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So LaDonna, talk to us. What are some of the important projects that you're working on right now that people could learn from?
Love to. So we're currently working on building a brand new hospital in Cary, North Carolina, which is not far from our Duke Main hospital in Durham. But this hospital will be a little different than what we've traditionally built. It's going to be a futuristic hospital. It will open in 3 years. But when I say future, I mean future today and future 20 years from now. It will evolve. So it's super exciting to be a part of that. And along with that comes all of the technology, that's advanced technology that we've worked very closely with Lenovo to help bring that into our brand new hospital.
Yeah, I love new hospitals because it is that time where you can just rethink how should it be?
Exactly.
It's such a cool opportunity. Justin, how about from the Lenovo perspective? What are some of the new capabilities that customers are most excited about and that are implemented in new hospitals like Duke Health?
Sure. So I would say AI is one of the things that's really driving change in the industry. Healthcare is adopting AI at twice the rate of other industries based on the data that we see, which is very exciting. It makes a big difference for clinicians, makes a big difference for patients, and it provides a lot of capabilities. I think it's probably best viewed as assistive intelligence rather than artificial intelligence, but very useful to offload many of the burdensome tasks or to accelerate. Certainly it's been something that healthcare's used for a long time for research, but now it's really arriving at the bedside, which is exciting. We also see a lot of health systems really delving into digital twins, whether that's a digital twin of their built environment for example, a new hospital, so that they can run simulations as well as have real-time monitoring for many of the things that happen in the operations of a hospital. Beyond that, I would say virtual reality is getting very exciting, whether that's for therapeutic benefit or a distractive technology or for the education mission of health systems like Duke.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you led off with that you've been doing this for 20 years. I'd love to hear, how has the IT infrastructure needs of a hospital kind of changed over this last 5 to 10 years?
Sure. I would say that probably is a better question for LaDonna.
It's no longer cookie cutter. And what I mean by that is same old with technology, because technology trend, when you talk about AI, you've got to have the GPUs to support it. You have to have the infrastructure to support it. The wireless, who would have thought that we would be in an age in technology where wireless is instrumental to healthcare when you have a multitude of devices, but making sure that those stay connected because we are dealing with patient care. And along with that is bringing in robotics, because AI could be many different flavors, if you will. RTLS systems. 10 years ago, we knew a little about this, but if you build a hospital 10 years ago, chances are it's not
Yeah, you
gonna
weren't planning
support,
for that.
right, it's not going to support the current technology trends.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Talk more about that growing needs that AI is kind of forcing upon your organization. How does that influence or even change the IT infrastructure that you choose to deploy at your organization?
So we don't want to hold back technology due to infrastructure. It's planning ahead. So part of that strategy is what a comment I made earlier with us building the new hospital in Cary is making sure that the technology that we put in there in 3 years can sustain or evolve over the next 20 years so that we're not going in and tearing out walls and putting in additional infrastructure that will be very costly.
Interesting. Justin, what would you add? Like, what are you seeing with healthcare customers as far as how they're ensuring that they can meet the future needs of AI?
Sure. I would say one of the most important things that we've seen evolve over the last 10 years is just a great maturation and improvement, robustness built into the governance around technology so that people are thinking through exactly as Duke is. What does the future look like? How do we plan for it today? Not just adopt technology without a clear strategy. So really planning ahead as best they can, making sure that the technologies that they adopt have the right security posture, that the technologies that they adopt are going to meet their needs, not only today, but in the future, and that they're really approaching it as an ever evolving landscape, knowing that we don't yet know all the technologies we'll have in 2035, but planning as if we could predict, planning so that we're building the right foundations that can be built upon, that can grow, and that can evolve and change.
Interesting. So LaDonna, I'd love to hear more specific details as far as, like, as you're planning for the hospital. You're still 3 years out, so I'm sure it's the start of the planning, but what are some of the things that the hospital of the future will need? Is it about connectivity? Is it processing power? Is it cameras? Is it, smart rooms? How are you thinking about it?
It's all of the above. But one of the things I would like to say is, even though we open in 3 years, I'm going to call this hospital beta. It's always going to be beta because we want to be able to adjust and adapt and be agile for whatever technology comes our way. So what we open with may not be what we have a year after, so that we can stay ahead of the technology and also take really good care of our patients and our providers, because they're key stakeholders in this. And when we talk about the technology trends, one of the things I like to pride Duke on is the fact that we have involved all of our clinical stakeholders and leaders in the decisions of what technology is going in that hospital, because the technology is not going to work if you don't have the people using it that are willing to use it.
Yeah.
So to that fact, we do have 3 units that we're treating as our beta units in our existing Duke hospital.
Very cool.
And very proud of that. Actually, our chief nursing officer has been a huge advocate, as well as our clinical champion. The feedback has been wonderful, and some of that technology will go in our new hospital.
Interesting. I love that idea that you're testing it now in your current hospitals to be able to roll it out in an effective way. Plus, you're right. I love the phrase, if you take care of the clinicians, they'll take care of the patients. It's a powerful idea.
Yeah, and the governance that she was talking about is what I was mentioning earlier, just seeing that maturation where the key stakeholders are very involved, and the way that Duke does it is world-class.
Yeah. Where are you seeing customers pushing the envelope, Justin, as far as the hospital of the future and the needs that they want? Is it about more GPUs, or what's kind of the trends you're seeing?
So the right way to approach it is not to focus on what the technology is. It's to focus on the outcomes that you're trying to drive, whether that's the clinician experience improvement, whether that's the patient experience improvement, whether that is personalized medicine, genomics, some of the other things that we could talk about for hours. But it's focusing on what are those outcomes that we know we need to drive, whether that's broad categories or smaller, very niche outcomes that they're trying to deliver. But focusing on those, and then you back into all of the pieces that need to be in place to make that a reality. So it's really the technology decision comes at the end, after you've already established sort of the roadmap of where you're going and what that outcome is that you're trying to go
Interesting.
and achieve. So
Yeah. Well, as we wrap up, I'd love to finish with just one kind of open-ended question, and maybe Justin, you can start, and then LaDonna, like, is there a topic that maybe not enough people are talking about, but you think they should be because it's going to have a big impact?
I'm going to have to be very careful. I think I know which one. LaDonna might have
You're not
top
gonna
preferred
steal
mine,
hers?
so I'm going to
Okay.
try not to
Okay.
steal hers.
You could still, you could agree, it's okay.
But I had mentioned digital twin earlier, and there's so much power in that technology, right? It's not AI, it's AI adjacent. Uses a lot of the same infrastructure to support it, leveraging GPUs and other things like that. But there are very few technologies that have the kind of power to be both a monitoring platform for whatever it happens to be, whether that's a patient or a hospital, but also a simulation platform, so that you can virtually test out whether it's which is the right treatment for this patient with cancer, for example. What are doing virtual clinical trials, those types of things. Or if it's, what if we change the nature of this particular hospital unit? What does that do to patient flow, to clinician work life? What if we move this supply to this location instead of where it normally was? How does that impact the flow through the hospital, the number of steps a nurse has to take in his or her day, those types of things. So the simulation capabilities that it delivers can be vast and very, very powerful, because it's such a great tool to be able to very rapidly prototype test those types of things, or in its monitoring function to be able to keep tabs on everything that's really going on with all the different inputs of different data sources that you can have flow in. That's one that really excites me, that I don't think nearly enough people really talk through, at least in the healthcare industry.
Well, I love how you talked about
different
digital
from
twin
other
for the
industries.
person and digital twin for your environment. I think that's pretty cool.
Sure.
How about you, LaDonna? What would you?
Well, he knew I was going to go down the digital twin roadmap, but along with that is being able to adapt, which I've said earlier, and be agile, but at the same time keeping our patients safe. Because technology will evolve, but it's very important. We have simulation labs, beta units, and more importantly, looking as long as I've been at Duke and seeing the multitude of applications, is reducing that footprint. How many technologies do we need to be futuristic? We don't need 300 apps with one electronic medical record on top of that to be successful. Nor do we need 500 vendors to carry off a hospital of the future. It's really just taking a look at today, tomorrow, and 20 years from now.
I love that. Thinking about rationalization as the buzzword that's missing from the buzz.
Well, I was going to say, if you only have 300, you've done a good job with app rationalization, which is probably a sad thing to say for many organizations. Well, Justin, LaDonna, I really appreciate you taking time to talk with us and share your insights and perspectives. And thanks everyone for watching and listening. If you want to find more great healthcare IT content, be sure to check it out at healthcareittoday.com or search for Healthcare IT Today on your favorite podcast application. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.